In this video, I'm going to show you how to flip your dryer door so that you can open it from this direction to this side. The only two tools we really do need, a Phillips style screwdriver and a flathead style screwdriver. If you want to do the job quicker, we can have some assistance here, but do make sure not to over torque because you can strip this. Optional as well, you can use a pillow here if you are going to be kneeling, if you have bad knees. We can also put the pillow on top of the dryer there so that when we are working on this door, we can rest it on the pillow and it doesn't scratch our appliances. The reason we may want to flip the dryer door is you can see when we're done washing, taking it out of the wash, it's a little more difficult to reach over and put the clothes in. And in addition, you see it kind of impedes here with this wall I have in the way. By mounting this door on the other side, it's going to flow a lot easier. For reference, this is a Kenmore, and I already flipped this door. You can see it swings out to the left now. For the process, it's going to be nearly identical on a lot of these typical dryers that we see here. Here we're working on a Maytag, this one's brand new. Pay attention to how this hinge looks. The reason I mention this is because on that Kenmore, I had to flip this door about 4 or 5 times because I couldn't get this hinge to sit right because I never paid attention to how it looks before I disassembled it. Let's open this up. Notice on this hinge, it primarily bulges inward, so keep that in mind when we do it to the other side. To start, we'll be removing these innermost Phillips on the top and the bottom. That's going to release the door. And then you're going to notice there's a Phillips there as well. And there's a Phillips here as well. We're going to remove both of these. This is where the door fastens. You're going to see there, that's where that little clip fastens to. One of the more subtle things that wasted a lot of time for me when I first did this is that we have these little Phillips around the door. You can see one up here, another one down there, and then there's one on the bottom. We need to remove these because it's going to be like a clamshell. You can see the gap there. We're going to remove this like a clamshell and we're going to have to rotate it. I have a flathead here. We need that to pry this out. You could use a butter knife as well. If you want to put a piece of tape on here so you don't scratch, by all means, but do keep in mind this is the inside of your dryer, so you won't see it even if you chip it. So let's just pop this out. And then this is the opening for that clip that's currently on the other side. On these inner Phillips screws, top and bottom, do keep in mind when you remove that 4th screw, this door will fall because nothing is supporting it. If you have a helping hand, that's fantastic. If not, just do keep that in mind so you're ready. You saw it shift there. I'm going to leave it on the bottom for now, so at least somewhat supports it. And again, nice and easy so you don't strip. It's loosened up there most of the way, so I'm going to come in with my hand here and loosen it the remainder of the way. This is a magnetic style screwdriver, but do keep in mind, you might want to put a towel or something on the bottom of your dryer so that if this screw falls, it doesn't go under your dryer and makes it more challenging. I'm going to loosen there with my hand. And this is the last screw here, so be ready for it to release. Door is removed. We can see here the hinge is still on, so we're going to change that shortly. The next Phillips screw we're going to remove is located right here, and this is where we're going to attach that new clip. Pulls right out, and now you can see the opening. I'm going to compare. On the right is the screw that was in the hinge, and on the left is the Phillips screw that came from out of here. These are identical, so if for some reason you lose one of these hinge Phillips screws in the process, you can take this Phillips from this little part here. Again, this is a last resort, but it is convenient to have that extra Phillips because we're not using this part here. On this left side, we remove the Phillips screw as well. Closer look here, this pulls out easily. Moving this to the other side, we're simply going to flip it 180 degrees like that. Let's go ahead and take the time to put this on the other side. I'm going to simply slide this in, and it's ready to put the Phillips screw in. For this step, I'm going to use the mechanical Phillips because I don't want to strip this. All right, and that's ready to go there. On the opposing end, let's take the time to put this cover plate back on. It slides in like that. Perfect. Let's get to work on this door. You can see I put the pillow under to protect our dryer here. If you want to do this on your bed, you can definitely do that as well. Your bed naturally is going to be a little higher, and that way if you drop any screws or anything, it's going to easily land on the bed and not roll around. We don't want to lose these Phillips screws if possible. You're going to see one here on the top. There's another one on the back side. And then if we swing this around here, you're going to see two on this end. Let's take the time to remove these. And again, these are identical to the ones on the hinge. With a flathead here or your butter knife, you can go ahead and take the time to pop this out as well. This plastic cover is going to come off. It exposes the metal part there, and just go ahead and pry this out. This is what it looks like, and we want to unfasten this little pin so that it releases. Looking at the original layout of the door, we just popped this out. And if you notice on this side here, if you want now, we can go ahead and attach this piece already. Line it up, press down, and it should lock in like that. Next, we put this little cover back on. Do keep in mind, it does not go in this vertical direction. It's going to go horizontal. So you're going to think it's vertical because that's the layout here, but we need to rotate this white piece like that, horizontal, and it easily fastens back into place there. Next, let's remove these 4 Phillips on these hinges. And again, remember to pay attention to the direction of this bulge. Currently, this main bulging part here faces inwards into the washer. And the part of the hinges that had the secondary hole are going to be facing the innermost part. This is the part that was right here. Now that we have all of those Phillips removed, that should release this clamshell. And I'm going to just wiggle it out there. I'm holding the handle. I'm going to wiggle it out. And you're going to see that separate. There is also this cardboard here. It was also on the other door, so I'm thinking this is for vibrations, so just leave that there if you'd like. What I'm going to do with this now is rotate it 180 degrees. Just guide everything back there with your hand. Now you can see our handle is on the opposite side, and when the swing's open, it's out of the way like I want. To confirm that it fits, here is where the door clips, and here is the new clip point. Next, we reattach these Phillips screws all around this clamshell. I'm going to use the mechanical Phillips screwdriver here so that I don't strip this, and I'm going to speed this up for time's sake. A closer look at the hinge, you're going to see this protrudes out here, and the back side is relatively flat. On the hinge, for the side that is symmetrical, these are the 2 holes that we want to reattach onto the door. The reason for this hole is that when we're putting the door back onto the washer itself, we can slide the door through this hole and then it hooks down like that and the weight is supported. So you can do that by yourself. Again, to reattach, this is what it looks like. The symmetrical holes are going to go onto the door itself. Now's a good time to reattach this cover plate. Pops right into place. Incredible, we're almost done. All it's left to do is to reattach this door onto the dryer itself. You're going to notice here the original mounting point has these little holes open still. On the other end here, you might not notice at first, but there's going to be some tape and you're going to pull this tape up and it's going to reveal the holes. If you want to keep this tape and put it back on this other side, by all means, just line it up there and then press down on it. We're almost done, everyone. We have 4 Phillips screws here, and what we want to do is take 2 of these Phillips screws. Remember how I showed the door with that figure 8? Well, here it is. And what we're going to do is, you're going to notice here's the round part of the dryer, here's the flat part. So the seal on the door is the flat part. That's how we know it's the bottom. So this is on the bottom part of the door. And what we're going to do on these holes here, on this bottom hole, I'm going to attach a Phillips screw here and a Phillips screw here. Don't screw it in all the way. This is just so it rests the weight of the door. What we have here are support points for the hinge so that we rest the door and then we could attach these remaining 2 screws without having to awkwardly hold it with one of our hands. We're going to want to push these Phillips screws in most of the way. That should be good enough there. And do the same on the bottom there. What you're going to see now is I'm going to align this door with this bottom screw here and the bottom screw there. And it is in place, but it's not secure. What we need to do is tighten the screw. All that's left to do is attach the top Phillips screws on these hinges. Door's on there nice and secure now. Now the moment of truth. Let's see if the door closes. Having a look from the top here, here's the wall, here is the washer. When that swings open, I can easily get my clothes out of the washer and put it into the dryer without having the door in the way. The beauty with a lot of these traditional dryers are that you notice here this is a Maytag and the other one I showed you was a Kenmore. This process is pretty much universal, if not nearly identical. This video should serve of great value to many of you out there. Do be sure to drop comments down below. Let me know if it was useful. Also let me know what was the most challenging part for you. With that said, have a great day, have a great evening, Striker out.